Record this. I'd like to continue to talk about unity of heart. This is something that I received inspiration while I was having Hunduke at Cheongshimwan in Las Vegas. So there was an account in True Mother's memoir on June 27, 1950, when True Mother was 7 years old. My grandmother, mother, and I joined the exodus with our bundle, following the throne, moving towards the Han River Bridge. Grandmother looked up at the sky and then glanced down at me. Then she turned her head again in the direction of our house. Sunjong may come, she said with a steady tone, speaking of a son who is True Mother's uncle. It seemed senseless to turn around when everyone else was fleeing the city. But she was firm. Let's go back in case he does. My mother understood. The three of us made our way back, fighting the crowd. It's interesting that if you look, if you Google and find out basically when the Han River Bridge was blown up, it was June 28, 1950, which is one day after June 27. So grandmother Cho decided to head back. They had probably walked some distance already, and everyone was, moving, knowing that the bridge may be blown up very soon. So they were rushing against time. And yet, grandmother Jo seemed certain that her son will come and drive them. So Sun Jong is a military medic, as far as I understand, and he probably has some kind of vehicle. So grandmother Jo decided to go back and wait for him. But what happens if he doesn't come then? And yet, when she suggested that Taemunim completely united with her, and together with True Mother, who's 7 years old, they went back home, and very, very amazingly, he came with a truck and then drove them through the bridge. But what's very important is that there was a complete unity of heart between Taemonim and Grandmother Cho. What an amazing unity of heart. Yeah. Now, after I read this, I spoke about the importance of unity. And we know very well that from 1954 to 1994, there was 40 years which our true father tried to proclaim, rather unsuccessfully, to Christian leaders that he's the Lord of the Second Advent. And we know very well that it was True Mother that restored Christianity failure. And with that, the establishment of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Here, we have another new era from 2014 onwards. So after True Father ascended, I waited and waited, and finally was the first to announce, I'm the only begotten daughter of God, to the American ministers. This was in December 2014. Then the ministers applauded, to the surprise of many, many leaders. They question, why didn't we know something so reasonable and valid? So we have to understand that it's amazing proclamation in 2014. Unexpected response, positive response from the Christian ministers, the ACLC ministers. However, when True Mother proclaimed this to Korean leaders back in Korea after this amazing event, she received rejection. Our Korean leaders were up in arms. They did not unite with our True Mother with this announcement of the only begotten daughter of God. And I will go so far as to say that True Mother will continue to proclaim herself as the only begotten daughter of God, just as True Father has done for 40 years from 1954, of course, beginning with the truth as a teacher, as a master, and then as the Messiah, you know, as the Lord of the Second Advent for 40 years. So this is the new providence centering on True Mother as the only begotten daughter of God. And True Mother is 100% united with Heavenly Parent, because this is what the providence, the only begotten daughter of God, was prepared even before the coming of the only begotten Son of God in Jesus 2,000 years ago, when God prepared the chosen people of Korea. So you have to understand that this is a very important proclamation, and we are living at this era when this proclamation is still being proclaimed by True Mother, and we should be the one proclaiming now in our efforts to let people know of True Parents and True Mother as the only begotten daughter of God. Very important providence. But we have to understand that the disunity that came about, the rejection, is the cause of all the problems that we have in this world that we live in. We have to understand that that's the cause. And True Mother has said, I'm the kind of person that cannot sleep if something remains unsettled. And True Mother has shed countless tears, especially when she was rejected by elders who are the Korean leaders, who have been the leaders that completely united with True Father and True Parents, but they are the ones who have rejected True Mother. So brought so much tears to True Mother. So you are given special responsibility, and if you fail to fulfill them, you need to indemnify that. Even though this is the era of indemnity is over. This is also true in the present era when you have responsibility. There is every chance that you may need to offer indemnity if we don't fulfill our responsibility. But True Mother don't blame, those that do not unite with her. She takes responsibility for our mistakes, our failure to unite in heart with her. She has sleepless nights. She can't sleep, to a point of which she even had to resort to sleeping pills. Okay. Now you look at the time of Moses, and it's always very instructive to go back and understand Moses, because Moses was trying to establish a nation. And there are two persons that True Mother always mentioned, and that is Joshua and Caleb, who attended Moses in the wilderness and completely united with Moses. And after which Caleb united with Joshua. We know that 12 spies were sent And out of the 12 spies, 2 of them said that because God is behind them, they will overcome and be able to go through that land that they were supposed to pass through. So they were sent as spies, and they completely united with Moses that they should go ahead, whereas the other 10
Go Newport Mall. Did I get there?
refused to support Moses. And Joshua and Caleb, Caleb united completely with Joshua, and basically he was 80 years old. He's not young, okay? And yet he also received the land, Hebron, and not the best land. But today Hebron is a very major piece of property that his descendants have inherited. Now I want to again bring out another situation that most of us, when we read the memoir, may have missed. And this is a situation when Temuni met with True Father for the first time. As you know, Temuni prepared for the Lord of a second advent. So when Temuni met with True Father, according to True Mother, Teacher Moon related to my mother in a formal and reserved fashion. And she knows that upon meeting True Father, she will be the nanny of True Mother. And she even had to enter Chongparang Church, where True Mother moved to, from the back door, even. So she really went in the most humble of humble position. But the reception that she received from True Father, this is the attitude that she kept. What did she do? She invested in prayer silently, without rest, erasing from her soul all the concepts and expectations she may have had about whom she was going to meet. So that's how she responded to True Father's cold reception of her. And through prayer and through devotion, what she's trying to do is to feel the heart of True Father, ignoring all concepts and expectation, to feel True Father's heart so that she can totally unite in heart with True Father. That's how she conducted herself. This is an amazing lesson that we can learn from Temonim in terms of establishing unity of heart with True Father. So, as opposed to what we have always been told, unite, unite, unite. How do you unite? Through self-denial. Self-denial doesn't work in this era. You have to understand, and you have to give up your own feelings, expectation, concepts, and through prayer, really understand the heart of that person that you are trying to unite with. Very, very important. Yeah. And that's what she did. Now, I'll talk about now True Mother now. True Mother went through a lot. Many of us think that, her life is easy. On the contrary, I have had to carry as much as Father's cross, a cross of perseverance and patience. Many times I felt I just can't do it. It was torture. Yet, I was married to such an important person with such an important task. It was impossible to imagine. So many times she had to overcome. And how does she overcome? Not through just self-denial, but really come to feel true father's heart. Now we know from different accounts that when she was first asked to be the bride, many of us would think that, wow, what such a great honor. But True Mother shared her heart that actually it was very difficult for her because she's getting blessed in marriage to a 23-year-older person. And recently, our brother Yoichi shared with us that they went back to the schools that True Mother attended. And the teachers kept very close records of the students. And during that time, the teachers came to find out that, wow, True Mother was losing weight and very, very disturbed. So it must have been that time that she was going through a situation of accepting True Father in the marriage supper of the Lamb. It's not so simple as we think it is. But True Mother had to go through a lot. But if you consider what she has gone through, how does she then overcome this? Is it through self-denial? No. As she said here, I was married to such an important person with such an important task. It's impossible to imagine. That's how she united in heart with True Father. And then another account, she knew that she has to go beyond herself. Father told her that she has to sacrifice. She even said that my name is sacrifice. Never ask why must I go this way. When you glimpse death, that's the moment when you can react quickly. Call on the name of God and go beyond yourself. Go beyond yourself. That means your feelings, your expectations, your concepts, your ideas, and then pray and have devotion, and then can feel the desperate heart of True Father. That's what she did. And if you think about the Yankee Stadium, there was a storm that hit the event. What went through True Mother's mind? Instead of, thinking of all the bad things, negative thoughts, no. She was fully in support of True Father, and this was testified by True Father. Before she went on stage, she grabbed True Mother's hand. And what did True Father said to True Mother? Thanks to your sincere devotion and prayer. I'm going on stage today. My husband's smile of gratitude was warmer than the sun that was shining through the clouds. So this is Father's really testimony of True Mother's absolute unity of heart with him. Thanking True Mother for her devotion and sincere prayer. So we have to understand that the issue is that most of us are sensitive to only our feelings, sensitive to our ideas, sensitive about myself, but completely insensitive to others. This is the biggest stumbling block because we cannot unite with someone. So this is difference between us and Heavenly Parent is that Heavenly Parent is completely sensitive to us. True Mother is completely sensitive to True Father. And True Father is completely sensitive to True Mother. And Te Moon is completely sensitive to True Father and True Mother, as even a nanny. Hence, whenever we shed tears, we should know that God is also shedding tears. We also should know that whenever we feel furious and bitter towards an enemy, God is shedding tears of forgiveness. God does not take revenge upon an enemy and say, "You scoundrel, I'm glad you are dead." God does not strike us because he does not consider us his enemy. So when we can put my pain, other people's pain, my wife's pain as my pain, and my pain is her pain, or my children's pain as my pain, and my pain, children can feel my pain, you have unity of heart. Then you don't have to go through self-denial. This is an era that we have to unite in heart, not deny ourselves. So this is what we have to do. Completely have this unity of heart with True Mother, unity of heart with our leaders, because they are trying to carry out heaven's will as well. So understanding God's heart, understanding True Mother's heart, and uniting in heart with them, that's what we are called to do at this time.